When it comes to Days of Our Lives, every fan has their own opinion, and Soap Hub is no different. For 5 days we sat and watched the good, the bad, and everything in between, and now we offer you a handy review, and a cheeky critique, of the Days of Our Lives week that was. Days of Our Lives, a critic's week in review. Much like Jack Devereaux, Matthew Ashford, I found the majority of this week's Days of Our Lives strangely riveting. The Disastrous double wedding was a hoot from a raucous start to a startling conclusion. Raise your hand if you saw Gwen wrist checks, Emily O'Brien, confession to premeditated murder coming? I also got a big kick out of Ava Vitale, Tamara Braun, rubbing her freedom, and Rafe Hernandez, Galen Guerin, and Gabby Hernandez Demara's faces, and Gabby putting Melinda Trask, Tina Huang, on blast in turn. And call me crazy if you must, but I'm starting to warm up to Java. I was prepared to be against the coupling if, for no other reason, than the fact that she nearly sent him to prison for a crime that he didn't commit just because. But the two of them are winning me over, much like O.G. Melrose Place's resident twisted twosome Peter and Amanda. That said, I do have some major problems with the logic that Days of Our Lives, and indeed the Salem judiciary system, employs. How is it that Gwen is a bigger get than Ava? Maybe if the soap had made clear that Melinda was doing this to score brownie points with the powerful Kyriakis clan, I could get behind it. But the way the story played out, it made little to no sense that Ava, who aided and abetted a kidnapping, impersonated another person with the explicit purpose of causing that person harm, and who worked to frame a police commissioner for corruption, would be traded for a woman who drugged another woman into insanity and aided and abetted a kidnapping. I also believe that Days of Our Lives truly dropped the ball where Friday's episode was concerned. How do you not pick up the thread from such a major cliffhanger? And to not only ignore Gwen's confession but ignore it for the sake of Death Alley, Lindsay Arnold, shenanigans and scenes featuring Paulina Price, Jack Harry, smooching her abuser is just plain criminal. Criminal, I say. Further Days musings. Alright Days of Our Lives devotees, what say you? What middle name should the spouses Weston give their bouncing baby boy, assuming that they don't mean to actually name him Bo something Weston? I'm partial to either Horton, which no explanation is necessary, or Grayson, Alice Horton's maiden name, myself. After watching Abe Carver, James Reynolds, force himself to forego reuniting with Paulina because, I don't want my heart to be broken again, I found myself tallying up all the times that Abe has been let down in past, and was left with one startling conclusion: Lexi sure has a lot to answer for. I'd forgotten just how often that lady had cheated on and lied to her ever-loving, ever-faithful husband. Maybe if Abe didn't have all of that baggage, maybe he'd be more inclined to forgive Paulina for her lie about Lanny Price Grant, Sal Stowers. While I'm all for Nancy Wesley, Patrika Darbo, finding a man to worship at her altar, I cannot, will not condone a Nancy/Clyde Weston, James Reed, pairing. The man is a sadist and all-around predator. Days of Our Lives, DOOL, airs weekdays on NBC. Check your local listings for airtimes. For more about what's coming up in Salem, check out all the latest that's been posted on Days Spoilers, and for an in-depth look at the show's history, click here. Ad block test, why?